Welcome to the next chapter with Jen Bryan. Today, I am joined by two of the three founding members of an all-female studio, Scoffer Productions. Thank you, ladies, so much for joining me today.
Woohoo! Yeah, we're having a great time.
Thanks for having us.
So I am joined by the mother-daughter duo, Firefly, and her daughter, Britt. Thank you so much for joining the next chapter today, and we're so thrilled to have you. Can you please tell the viewers a little bit about your studio and how it came to be?
It just kind of happened overnight. We had a lot of big ideas, and we've always been writers. I started out as a graphic designer and a graphic artist in Orlando, Florida. And my daughters all were involved in writing books and doing art. So it just naturally occurred. We came across a story we found particularly fascinating, and that became Dagon Troll World Chronicles. And that is our first film. It stars Tim Curry and Doug Bradley.
Wow, that is so interesting. So how did that come to be? What was the inspiration behind starting your own studio and having it be all females?
Well, we are all artists, and I kind of think in the way that the universe, when there is a void in the universe, something will fill it, and I think we filled it. There has never been a studio like ours. We are all artists, we are all women, and we have a lot of big ideas, and it seems like it was just something that had to happen. The universe demanded it.
We're producing our own films, we're directing our own films, we're writing our own films. We do all facets of the production of the film. We do all the casting. We are just in control of our destiny and our future and our film, and we're very excited to talk about it today.
So how has the industry received having an all-female studio? Because that's definitely breaking some cultural norms and industry norms.
Being an all-woman studio is not easy in Hollywood. It's definitely a patriarchy, the film world. You can look at all of the major film directors and producers, and 95, 96% of the time they're all men. And when you are a unicorn in the industry and nobody knows how to respond, it's usually responded to with anger and resentment and bitterness.
Well, the way I look at it is you can think of lots of different studios that create film. There's MGM, there's Warner Brothers, there's Universal Studios. Now, how many women studios can you think of off the top of your head, How many women create films? The whole thing. The whole entire thing. And we create audiobooks, we also create comic books. So we're branching out. We have 2 films now. One is almost finished, and the other will start in October, and it's a live film. So we're growing, and we're also adding other kinds of media. And we have to do our own publicity because of a limited budget. But in that respect, we are doing very well because we have become very, very popular. In some respects, we've become, as a byproduct, celebrities ourselves.
That's so amazing. So can you tell the viewers a little bit about the premise of A Dagon Troll World Chronicles? Because you have huge stars in this film for your first feature film. So I know the viewers are going to want to know more.
Well, we have never had any problem getting stars. I get that question a lot. People say, oh my God, how did you get Tim Curry? How did you get Doug Bradley? How did you get Curtis Stacy? We have so many stars in this film now that it is actually ridiculous. And a lot of the times they contact us, and I say that, and people they freak out. They're like, what do you mean they contact you? But they do. And I was never even on Facebook till like 4 years ago. But I meet people, and it's like a chain. You meet one person, you meet someone else. And I have gotten a lot of friends, actual friends, in Hollywood now, and they know other people, and usually we contact a star. It's through a friend, or they contact us through a friend. And our studio is like Jim Henson's. It's a family studio, and we care about our actors. And most of my actors have given me presents. They've given me autographs. They've given me things, and they talk to us a lot, and they say, hey, what you're doing is amazing and we love it and we want to come on board. And, you know, I can't say from other people's perspective, but that's what's happened to us. People come to us and say, I've got to be part of your projects or films. What, you know, what can I do?
So what inspired the name Scoffer Studios? I love it. I want the viewers to know more about that.
Okay, so Scoffer Studios is kind of our credo. We scoff at everyone who tells us no. We scoff at anyone who says there's no way you could possibly do that. We're like, watch us. And
it's kind of a challenge if they say you cannot do this, you cannot have these stars, you cannot get these people, you just can't do that. Why don't you guys go away? I'm like, we already did it.
yeah,
It's already
so
done.
we're just gonna scoff at you now, and you can just deal with us. We're not leaving.
We're here, we're loud, we're in your face. I'm sorry about it, but that's the way it is.
Sorry,
So-
not sorry.
I absolutely love it. And how you started your company is super interesting because you went on the floor as a grassroots effort. You went around to different animation and Comic-Cons, I read, kind of like they did in the 60s and 70s with music, like a grassroots effort. Can you tell the viewers
Exactly.
about that?
We just started being invited to a lot of Comic-Cons, and we would go over there and we would meet the stars that were doing the panels, and we'd be doing panels. And pretty soon we're like, hey, you want to be in our film? And they're like, hey, yeah, you know, you guys are really cool. You know what you're doing over there? It's like a big party. And we're like, it is a party. It's an ongoing party.
Our last Comic-Con before COVID kind of slowed us down was 2019, the Phoenix Fan Fusion. And when we went over there, I actually met with Elijah Wood, and we were both doing panels, and we kind of met in the hallway, and he's like, oh my God, you're Scoffer Studios. I'm like, oh my God, you're Elijah Wood. And we're like, let's hang out. And he's like, yeah. So that was a lot of fun.
They both love weird hats. I think all of us love weird
Yeah,
hats.
he was wearing
Elijah
a bowler
Wood
hat,
loves weird hats.
and I was wearing this hat. And he's like, I love your hat. And I'm like, I love your hat. And we were just kind of hanging out, chilling. It was fun.
But we go to a lot of places. We get invited to a lot of things. We do a lot of interviews. Like right now, we've been doing some British interviews. The UK loves us. I don't know how we fit so perfectly, but the UK has just open arms to us, and they just love us.
And there's a lot less resistance in the UK than there is in America for female film producers and directors to have a place. It's just ridiculous in America. They're all men. Like everyone we talk to is a man, and they're all like, you guys talk too much. Do you guys hot tub? You're so cute. That's why you're getting somewhere.
Yeah, I've had so many men producers, directors, people that have their own studio. They'll say, well, if I was a woman and I was a beautiful woman,
And I could flirt my way
I
in.
could get the results you have. I could get the stars, and I'm like, that is so
Sexist.
sexist and degrading. And it's just lured
Not
me to
true.
the fact that I have no brain and I have no talent. I'm just a pretty face. And I hate that. I really hate that. And I don't think they quite go that way in the UK. I think the women are strong and they're more accepted over there.
Yeah, it's very aggressive in America, and we're up to the challenge. We're still kicking butt, but it's a lot more friendly in the UK.
We're thinking of having some red carpets over there, actually.
So what do you think needs to change so that, like, you know, US culture is more receptive to an all-woman run studio?
There needs to be more of them. We have to stop accepting the rules that have been put in place by men and the
Limitations.
limitations and the glass ceilings. And that's like if you go to a Comic-Con or you go to a film festival, if you are a female producer or director, unless you're doing appropriate work that is suitable for a woman to do according to popular opinion, like a chick flick or a mother, kind of film, or where you're older but you're still going to get a boyfriend or something like that, some kind of romance, then you're not going to win. I mean, you have to fight for every ounce of respect you get.
What I've noticed is a lot of people are okay with the fact that if you enter your film in a film festival, there's going to be, say, 12, 14 winners, and maybe 3 will be women that produce these films. And I was talking to a lady the other day, and she said, well, my screenplay did win. It did get like a runner up. And she said out of 8 winners, there was 2 women, and I was one of them. And yeah, so maybe, maybe this time I'll win #1. Maybe this time, maybe this. No, it should not be that way. It should not be maybe this time. We should be on a level playing field. And until everyone that is looking at it, from the screenplay to the finished product, is going to be held accountable, if there are not some women winners, we're going to have any change, because we can't just always say, oh, well, I wasn't good enough, or, my subject matter wasn't marketable enough, or whatever.
That's not it. It's motivated by sexism. It is still alive and well. And we're not bitter from losing anything. We haven't even gone into a film festival yet. We've just been watching what happens to
We
other
probably will never end up doing
female
film festivals, because we've been offered so many offers to buy everything we've got before it even gets finished. Like, we just started a zombie film, and we've already got huge producers. I mean, oh my God, already.
And they're contacting us, and we're very excited
and Netflix
about that.
is already waiting to see it. When we get a teaser and we get everything put together, I mean, they're already waiting. So, I mean, it's like somebody out there in the universe loves us and says, you know what? These guys are doing something, and it's going to be successful.
We're trying to kind of help our sisterhood of other
A
female.
success for one woman in this industry is a success for all of us. Like, if this studio we have created opens the door for more women to start their own studios, please do, because that's why we're here. We're trying to break down the pillars of the gatekeepers and say, come on, women, start your own studio. Don't just be a director on someone else's film. Don't be a producer on some guy's film. Hell, girls, make your own studios. Do it yourself. If you're tired of seeing these films that subjugate women or put these in these stereotypical situations, over and over and over, girls, make your own studios. Let's do it. And really and truly, they need to make some tax breaks for us. They need to make it a little easier here. I mean, a lot of us women are trying to do this while we raise kids and while we're working full time. And I mean, it would really help if we had a little bit of a hands up, a little support from the film industry to say, you women, come on, let's get these studios going. Let's do it.
So you're talking about other women getting into the industry. What advice would you give them, since you face all these challenges and you want more women in the industry? What would you say to younger you or to someone out there that wants to pursue this?
You've got to be tough. You've absolutely got to be tough. You cannot say to yourself, oh, these guys from New York want to put money in my film. And they called me up and said, do you want to do a board meeting? We're getting together. We're pitching our films. We got a board meeting. Oh, by the way, honey, do you hot tub? By the way, honey, what are you doing after? Let's all get together and we'll hang out with these stars and these people, and we'll go to these clubs. No, we're not going to do that. We're going to go down to New York and we're going to do it on our own terms, and we need to be treated with respect. If you have a situation like that, you've got to be hard. You can't say, no, I will hot tub, or yeah, I will do. No, you're saying my lawyer's going to be there. I'm going to be on the plane. Does this board meeting actually exist? I mean, stand up for yourself. And when people tell you can't have that star, don't even bother.
Go after the star.
Go after the star. Or if they say, oh, this guy's tough, you know, he's not going to negotiate this deal with you. Hell yeah, he will. I mean, I've had these guys that came in from Canada, different places, and they buy films. They negotiate deals. They invest money. They are capital marketers, and they have big money, millions. And you just talk straight up to them and say, look, I'm not a little girl, and you can't push me around. And I got my attorney right here, and we're going to make this deal, or we'll walk. We're going to walk. If you don't show me the money, if you don't show me respect, and you don't give me as good as the next guy that came in, we'll walk and they will respect you. You have to be tough as nails. You have to be tough as nails, and you got to have an attorney, and you got to know what the hell you're doing.
And don't listen to all of their naysayers and the ones that say you're not good enough. Because if you keep on trying, you will be good enough and you'll be better than them.
We knew nothing when we began. I mean, I hadn't even been on Facebook for years. And I made so many contacts. And I read, and I investigated, and I educated myself, and I talked to people in the industry. And when someone comes up and says, yeah, I can agent your film, I can broker your film for 7%, you're like, how about 2.5? Now we're talking. You got to know what the hell you're doing. The guy's like, hey, I'm helping you. You're like, you'd help me a lot better if you will quit treating me like I'm an idiot. How about 2.5? Or I walk.
There's a lot of sharks that want to take advantage of newbies, especially new women in the film world. You have to be just as vicious and sharp as they are, and you cannot let them walk all over you just for the dangling carrot of, oh, I'll help you with your film.
Or I'll get my film out there, so I have to sacrifice. I have to take nothing from my film to get it out there in the pipeline. I have to get along with these people. I have to do it their way. No, you do not. If you have a marketable film that everybody wants, you have the power. You have the, not them. You need to be strong. You have to be invincible. You have to be empowered. Find out everything yourself, and do not depend on someone else to find out for you. You have to be everything for yourself.
Absolutely. And as a woman that started their own business 10 years ago and had no clue what they were doing, and I was told I would fail as well. And 10 years later, everything that's come of it. I mean, people want to tear you down, put you down because they can't understand it. And if they can't understand it and it's out of their comfort zone, then you're going to fail. And, you know, as you're talking, I think like myself and other viewers would want to know, what does it mean, the hot tubbing? Because that's an industry lingo that a lot of people are not familiar with, but it happens all too often. Can you tell the viewers about that?
Hot tubbing is a gateway to other unpleasantries, like pay for play. It's basically dating the person that's trying to help you. And
It seems to be a prevalent factor that a lot of men, I'm not saying all of them, but a lot of men think that if you're a beautiful woman and you have a film and you're trying to get it marketed, or you're trying to get it distributed, or you're trying to get it funded, that you're good to play, that they can call you up and they can say, oh, hey, gorgeous, you know, this guy's got $35 million he's investing in films, and we're all going down to pitch. You want to come on the plane? Do you want to come pitch? And then after, we're going to meet so-and-so and so-and-so, and we're all going to get in a hot tub, and we're all going to drink and party.
And we're going to have the same hotel room, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, no, that is actually not what we're going to be doing.
And a lot of the time, they will say, I'm down here in Miami. You want to come down to Miami? We'll do this business deal in Miami. And by the way, I'm out here at the pool, and here's a picture of me at the pool. And do you have a bikini? Bring a bikini. And we're going to have fun down here. We're all down here. You know, we're pitching our films. Or I had someone tell me, we're having a big animation film thing over here at MGM. Why don't you fly in and get a hotel room? I'll pick you up and we'll go to the party. And then we can party ourselves after. I've had people say, I'd like to be your handler. Ha, ha, ha. I want to handle you. Yeah, I want to handle your film. Yeah, I'm tired of it. I mean, it's immature. What are we, 5? I mean, and I'm sure the boys don't have to put up with this. I mean,
if
really.
you could switch the conversation around and make a man uncomfortable if that was said to him, or even not even see that happening, then it shouldn't be told to you. Like, you would never ask Arnold Schwarzenegger, do you hot tub, or are we going to share a room? Yeah, if you're talking with Arnold Schwarzenegger, you're not going to say that. If you're talking to a pretty girl, it's just the next step. It's let's have the same hotel room. You just don't want to go there.
And that's
have some integrity. Be strong.
It's so unfortunate because, like, you know, even myself, I get those messages on Facebook. People thinking they know you because you put your stuff out there. You're on TV or in the media. And the objectification, if you don't go along with it, I'm going to blackball you. I'm going to do this. You know, the threats, the entitlement, the objectification. Like, you know, it does go on. That's why I wanted you to explain it, because, you know, it's difficult. It does degrade you. And I have several degrees, like I've worked very hard for my life. And, as a woman, when you have other women that are fighting for the same thing to be treated just as a decent, basically just with common decency, I think that really sets a precedent for what we put up with, like going forward as a society and trying to change and shift the narrative of these behaviors are okay, because all of us have worked hard to get where we are. I mean, despite what people may think, there is other routes. There's sometimes more difficult, more challenging, there's more roadblocks, but I feel like our character and dignity stay intact, and then we advocate for other women to not succumb to that Hollywood lifestyle, because so many celebrities have talked about that over the years, about what they had to do to get roles and parts, and people still to this day, it's so prevalent. I mean, it sounds like it's still happening from what you're saying.
Yeah, I've had so many people say, well, that doesn't happen anymore. I mean, this is the new age of the empowered woman. It's the Me Too era. Well, I'm sorry. I hate to bust everyone's bubble. It's alive and well. And this is just what we have managed to see. I mean, and then when your film goes in, you don't know what criteria is happening behind the scenes looking at your film, because if he has 2 films on his desk and he's going to pick one, is he going to pick the one by women, or is he going to pick the one by a man? I mean, you will never know this. You will never know what went into the criteria for a distribution or whatever. But it needs to be a more level playing field, and the only people that are going to change this are women. When we won't stand for it anymore, and we go out and we do better jobs than anyone else, we make finer films, we make more popular products, we make things that are so irresistible that you can't possibly say, I'm passing on this film. I don't want this film. They're like, hell yeah, I want this film. I don't care if she's a woman. I don't care. I got to have the damn film for my lineup for distribution because it's going to sell. It's going to make a fortune. So yeah, I want to sit down in this meeting and talk with her and be respectful, because if I'm not, she's going to get up and leave. I'm not going to have the film.
Yeah, I love the classic response of, you want respect, you'll have to earn it. And you're like, I'm not talking about that kind of respect. I'm earning that kind of respect. I'm talking about human decency here, basic human respect. Don't just belittle everything that I've done just because I'm a woman. I mean, that's ridiculous. It'd be like saying, I'm going to belittle everything that you've done because you have short hair.
And in my industry, the men that I'm up against are threatened. I mean, they're threatened with their little films and their things they're doing, because we just appeared on the scene and we've got all these stars that nobody can get. I mean, all these men want these people in their films and they cannot get them for whatever reason. And I've got them. And so, all my friends are not ordinary people. They're just people in the industry making films like me, and they're very threatened and very antagonistic. And this person told me, well, if you would just post your posts and grammatically put everything perfect, no commas and no, then people will respond well to your posts and they'll give you money. And I said, that has nothing to do with it. I mean, I said, I could frankly be nude on my post and no one's going to give me money, because they are antagonized and threatened by our studio. So we will have to do it alone, do it with the help of our fans and other women, or on our own. We'll fund it ourselves, but we will make it, we will do it, and it will be a major success. But putting an apostrophe or wording it differently is not going to make a difference. I've had nothing but vitriol from people making films in my league. And they're threatened by women. They're threatened by an all-woman studio, and that's not going to disappear overnight.
Absolutely not. So what do you envision the next chapter being? What would you like to see for yourself, or what are you working towards? The viewers want to know. I want to know what comes next.
Well, what comes next is a really awesome zombie movie, which we're working on. And we're looking to try our hand at live action, because we're already doing great with animation.
And we've had a couple of people who are really big producers that want to come in and co-produce. Now, if this does happen, if we can all sit down and make this happen, this would be huge. I mean, these are really big people. They're impressed with what we were doing. And they said, we've been watching you girls for a while. And we were like, whoa. And these guys have made like 60 films. They're huge. I can't say who they are.
They forbade us from
We
mentioning it.
can't mention it till they come on board. At this point, they're coming on board the very last part of the film, but they're going to put their studio name on it, and they represent some huge people that are stars in their own right.
And we're very excited about that. And also, we're working towards cementing ourselves a legacy of having something to be remembered by. We're looking to make some cult classic films. And I hope we do a really great job on this live action zombie film. We're really excited about it.
I'm seeing lots of films coming out of Scoffer Studios, getting bigger. And yeah, somebody to reckon with in the future.
We make a point of hiring people who, aside from the huge, amazing stars, we hire Indigenous women. We hire people of all genders. We hire people who are, you know, they're not well known throughout the film world, but they just need a shot. And our studio is a lot like a family. If someone is in trouble, we do pull together to help them. And
we use our actors over and over again for different projects. If you're in Scoffers, if you were lucky enough to be part of our studio, you have a family, because we're going to use you all the time. We're going to go back and use you for different parts.
And
different things we're
before we
doing.
go outside of our little group of people, we give them the parts first and see if any of them would fit the role. And if for whatever reason no one can fulfill it, then we do go outside. But it's so rare that that happens that
I was talking to one of our sound guys, and his name is Steve Lee. He was with Pixar, and I think he's got like 20 plus years at Pixar. He's done all these fabulous films like Lion King. And I was telling him today, I said, you're part of the family now. You're part of this studio now. And you're going to be, you know, doing all our sound, and you're going to be overseeing our sound. And he said, you know how much that means to me, that I'm part of something like this, and you are a family. And like he said, I'm having a bad week or a bad weekend. I said, it doesn't matter, because you are part of this family, and we are there for you, and we love you, and you take your time and work through what you have to do. And because we're all here for each other. And it's a little bit different, but that's the way everyone is. I mean, we all pull together and we help each other, and we're a family.
That is absolutely phenomenal to hear. So if viewers want to learn more about you, donate to your Kickstarter or your Indigo, how can they find you?
Okay, so the easiest thing to do is just to Google Dagon Troll World Chronicles on Facebook, and it will pop up. You can also Google Scoffer Studios on Facebook. We will pop up. You can Google Britt Sellers. That's me. I'll pop
Diana
up.
Firefly, that's
Diana
me.
Firefly. She'll pop up. And
we're giving away some fabulous perks. We're all artists here, and this film is 2D, which is hand-drawn ink. So if you want a picture of Tim Curry's character, an actual picture that you will see in the film of Tim
that
Curry,
was drawn by our animators.
that's hand drawn. You
and
will
will
get
appear in
that.
the film.
You will absolutely get that hand signed by us, or a perk.
You can also be honorary producer roles are also offered for different levels of
And
donations.
We have a walk-on thing that we're going to do. I think we talked about, we have one character that is a gangster character, and if you want to be that gangster, you can give a donation of a certain amount and be in Tim Curry's film as a character, a real character.
But we're just really excited. Anything that you guys want to donate is very much welcome.
Anything,
it's on
doesn't
Indiegogo.
matter.
Our links are all over our pages. You can share it. You can like our stuff. Any support you have to offer is very much welcome, and we appreciate it.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. I really learned so much, and I know the viewers are going to want to learn more. We're going to put up those links, and I really appreciate you both taking the time today to join me with the next chapter of Jen Bryan.
Thanks so much.
Thank
we had
you.
fun.